to you this morning. As usual, as I do on Mondays, it is Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day as well to all of you. As usual, I'm coming on to wish you a blessed week, as well as to put something on your mind and your heart for this week, whether it's for you or for someone you know. And this week, I want to talk to you guys about what it feels like to be in what I call an invisible prison or a prison without walls. And when I say invisible prison or prison without walls, what I'm talking about is an emotional prison, emotional captivity. And for the most part, if you're living in that kind of environment, no one can see it, but you can feel it. It's an emotional prison, it's emotional captivity. Now, this sometimes comes from unforgiveness, meaning someone has done something to you. You have not been able to forgive them or decided that you wanted to forgive them because you have your reasons. You don't feel like it, you don't think they deserve it, whatever your reasons are. You are holding unforgiveness in your own heart, and it is keeping you hostage. It is keeping you in the invisible prison. You feel like you can't go around this person, and maybe you shouldn't. Maybe this is a person who you shouldn't be around, and that's okay. But feeling like you can't do other things, you can't talk about it, you can't do this or that because of the way you feel. That is prison. You don't think of it that way because there's no bars. Nobody is physically holding you down or keeping you stuck, but in your mind, you are stuck, you are trapped. And so, what I want you to think about, if that is you, if you are holding unforgiveness in your heart, think about it in terms of yourself and not the other person. If you are living in an emotional, invisible prison because you will not release that person from what they've done from you for to you, then think about that. Do you really want to remain in prison because of something you didn't even do to yourself, but because you won't release and forgive that person? It does not mean that they have to be let back into your life. It does not mean that you need to be around them or welcome them into your home or your environment or whatever the case may be. What it means is you release yourself from the hold and from the prison that you're trapped in because you won't forgive. Forgive. You don't have to feel like it. It's actually not an emotional thing, it's a decision. You decide that I'm going to unleash and unlock myself from this prison that I'm in. Some of you, it's not necessarily unforgiveness. There's likely an element of unforgiveness there. But I've had a couple clients who will not move forward or allow themselves to be released because they're waiting on somebody to die. They're waiting on someone to pass away before they fully allow themselves to heal. Prison. You have again trapped yourself in an emotional, invisible prison without walls because you have decided that that person needs to be off the earth before you can do what you need to do to heal. It's still prison, guys. Those people that you're waiting to leave, if you keep waiting, you're gonna go before they do. Hear what I'm saying? Allow yourself to release whatever it is you need to release, regardless of the other person's status. If you don't decide to do that, you are going to continue to live in an emotional prison, an invisible prison, a prison without walls. You have gotten to the point where you don't even understand yourself. You hold yourself back in so many areas. You have anxiety, you have depression, you grieve. And it's not that those emotions are invalid, they're valid. But if you want to heal, if you want to move away from those things, feeling those things every day that are keeping you stuck, you have to be able to release. So, one thing that I want you guys to do is make a decision that you're going to forgive the person who did you harm, and you're going to allow yourself to release whatever you need to release, regardless of the other person's status, whether they're alive, whether they're gone, whether they're sick, whether they're whatever is going on with that person. I know that you care, and this is going to sound harsh, but you cannot care now more about that person's status than you do about your own health. Because, like I said, if you're waiting to heal for the other person to leave the earth, you're likely going to leave before they do, because you're the one carrying all the pain, guilt, shame, whatever it is you're carrying. In order to get yourself free from this emotional, invisible prison without walls, you have got to release it. Okay? I know that was a pretty heavy one for today, but if that is you, give yourself permission to surrender, to give it all up, to release it. You deserve that. You need to believe it. It doesn't just happen because I'm saying it. You need to feel like you deserve it. You need to believe that you deserve to be free, because this is something that you can do for yourself. You don't actually need anybody else to give you the permission. Now, you may need assistance. So, if you need to go to therapy, if you need to find a coach, if you need to find a pastor or leader or someone to help you walk through this process, then do that. But do it. Release yourself. Allow yourself to be released. Okay. I hope you guys have an amazing week. If God says the same, I'll be back next Monday. If not, I'll see you when I see you. But until then, be proactive about your mental health. Be well, and God bless.